he was a different person again. He was like the person I'd known in the early years. He was more at one with himself, more relaxed, more happy. It was part of himself. And it was nice to see Freddie at one with himself.
I'm just the pieces of the man I used to be.
He was larger than life, a man whose voice could break boundaries and hearts. But when the lights faded and the applause turned to silence, what happened next was something no one expected. The world knew him as Freddie Mercury, the fearless frontman of Queen, but behind the fame, behind the glitter and thunder of the stage, was a man fighting his greatest and most private battle. In the last months of his life, Freddie withdrew from the spotlight. Behind the high walls of Garden Lodge in Kensington, London, he was surrounded by only the people he trusted most: Mary Austin, his former partner and lifelong friend; Jim Hutton, his companion; and Peter Freestone, his loyal assistant. Freddie's body had grown weak, but his spirit remained unbreakable. Even as his strength faded, he continued recording, pouring every last breath into his music, determined to leave behind one final gift to the world.
On November 23, 1991, he released his final statement to the press through his management. Following the enormous conjecture in the press, I wish to confirm that I have been tested HIV positive and have AIDS.
After releasing that statement, Freddie suffered a little more, fell into a coma the next morning, and passed later that day. He left this world on his own terms, deciding when he had given all he could. Rest in peace, Freddie.
Freddie's personal physician, Dr. Gordon Atkinson, later shared his emotional memory of that night. "This is very difficult for me, as my mind is still filled with the thoughts of his dying. He never complained, and his anguish was more for his friends and family than for himself. His bedroom was filled with flowers, and Delilah, his tortoise-shell cat, was always poking her face out from beneath the covers when anyone visited. On the night he died, I was telephoned 5 minutes after I'd left the house to say that he'd stopped breathing. When I returned, he was lying there with a look of ecstasy on his face. His parents arrived for prayers and wondered if his face had been made up. He looked to be in such ecstasy."
Time waits for nobody.
It had been a long fight for him. For nearly 5 years he had carried on without question, and at the end, when it came, it was sudden and peaceful. Freddie Mercury left this world surrounded by love, dignity, and the quiet beauty of a life that burned brighter than most could ever imagine. While the world mourned in the streets, singing Bohemian Rhapsody, laying flowers and tears at his gate, Freddie's closest friends prepared a private farewell. On November 27, 1991, a quiet funeral was held. Only 35 people were invited: his parents, sister, bandmates, and closest friends. No cameras, no press, just silence and love. The ceremony followed his Zoroastrian faith, honoring his roots as Farrokh Bulsara, the boy from Zanzibar who became a legend. As his coffin was carried into the chapel, Aretha Franklin's "Precious Lord, Take My Hand" filled the air. It was Freddie's final song.
It started off so well.
After the cremation, very few knew what truly happened next. Freddie's ashes were entrusted to Mary Austin, the woman he once called his common-law wife. For 2 years, she kept them hidden, waiting for the right moment. Then, one morning, she quietly left her home, alone, carrying the urn that held what remained of the man the world adored. She walked to a place only she and Freddie knew, and laid him to rest. To this day, no one knows where Freddie Mercury's ashes are buried. Mary Austin once said he wanted it to remain a secret, and it will remain that way. Even in death, Freddie guarded a piece of his mystery, a final act of privacy in a life lived so publicly.
I can be somebody's lover, you know, a good lover, and that's another aspect of me too.
I love you till I die.
Freddie Mercury's body may be gone, but his spirit is eternal. He lives in every crowd that sings his words, in every heart that breaks to love of my life, and in every soul that dares to live freely, boldly, and without apology. His final message echoed through his music. The show must go on.
And when you think about somebody like me in my lifestyle, I mean, I have to sort of go around the world and live in hotels, and I just say that's my life, and it can be a very lonely life, but I mean, I chose it.
And indeed, it did. Because legends never truly die. They live on in the hearts they've touched, the lives they've changed, and the songs that refuse to fade. Freddie Mercury's body left this world in silence, but his soul still sings louder than ever. I want to thank each one of you for watching this video until the end. Your time and support truly mean a lot to me. Thank you from my heart. This is an open channel for your thoughts and feelings. Please share your reflections in the comments. Your voice matters here. If you enjoy my work, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, or sending a super thanks. Your support helps me continue creating stories that inspire and connect us all. This is Legend Story TV, where every story reminds us that life is short, but when lived with passion and purpose, it becomes eternal in the hearts of those we touch.